our eyes on the streets, and here on the Trending Now segment, my team and I do our best to bring you all the trending stories that are shaping the world that you and I live in. We begin today in Edo State, where fresh concern over insecurity has gripped Ekpoma in Edo State after CCTV footage captured the moment a man was kidnapped from his residence on Tuesday evening. Now, this incident reportedly occurred around 6 p.m., just moments after the victim drove into his compound to park his car. In the video you're watching that's now circulating online, the man is seen being swiftly abducted by gunmen, highlighting the growing boldness of kidnappers in the area. Now, this incident comes just days after youth in Ekpoma staged protests to express frustration over the rising cases of kidnapping and violent crime within their community. And following these protests, there are allegations that police operatives stormed Ambrose Ali University, Ekpoma, where several youths believed to have participated in these demonstrations were reportedly rounded up. As of now, there's been no official statement from the Edo State Police Command confirming the arrests or responding to the allegations. But for many in Ekpoma, Edo State, the question remains stark and unsettling. If a man can be taken from his own compound in broad daylight, how safe is anyone else? Let's have a look at social media. Fine Girl Rita says, the indigents are the ones behind this because how many bushes are in Ekpoma? They know the hideouts and they have a sponsor. And Coded said, this happened very close to my place of primary assignment around 5 p.m. this evening at Mwado side. At official NYSC, now you carry me come this den of kidnappers. If it's possible, let me use my remaining 2 months for Akure. Thank you for those tweets. Team, what we're seeing happening in Edo is very troubling, and I couldn't ignore this story because over the weekend the youth protested the rates of kidnapping, and they demonstrated. Some of them were rounded up. But just a little while after that, we saw a man being kidnapped in broad daylight, and yet they're being punished for protesting these kidnaps, where it's clearly a problem. I mean, look, it could have been any of us in that vehicle. Yeah. Mr. Shomi.
Yeah, absolutely. If you look at how the whole thing has evolved, there was a protest. People protested about the fact that they felt unsafe in their home community, in their towns, and of course the police decided to crack down on them, fueling suspicion of why would the police move to the campuses and go to the houses of protesters to arrest them. So that generated a new controversy over the weekend. So hopefully, maybe Edo State Police Command is on top of it now.
Mr. Shomi, but can you quickly, maybe even you, Ria, just speak to what is going on in Edo State? The high rates of cultism, kidnapping, violence that we are seeing. What could be the correlation between Edo State and these issues?
You know that, Olamide, I was about to say that I'm not surprised because it's not the first time I've seen this kind of thing. Even on TikTok, I see so many things happening there. Now, look at how fearless these people are. Normally, we see these people operate in the night, but then they have to be very fearless to operate in broad daylight. This is quite scary. You know, I watched this video over and over again, and I'm like, for them to have the effrontery, the audacity to do this kind of thing, of course, they must have a sponsor. And the first tweet you read, I think I really agree with that person. Sometimes it's this indigents, because how many bushes do we even have there? Sometimes the indigents are even the problem, and they're promoting this. We've seen a lot of cultism, you know, in Edo State as well. I think that Governor Monday Okpeyolo has a whole lot to do, as opposed to just, you know, getting press and just talking. There's a whole lot that needs to be done in terms of security in Edo State. This is happening one too many times. This is very scary. Like, this put a lot of chills in my body because he wasn't even outside. He wasn't traveling. He was in his compound and he was taken away in broad daylight. We also need to look for the sponsors of these things, because I'm telling you, these people that kidnapped him are not just working on their very own. There's a higher authority, and the moment we are not able to get that authority and we get these people, it doesn't work. We need the people that are sponsoring this, you know, banditry and kidnapping. And during the newspaper earlier on that you took, we saw that we're saying that they are releasing these people. We're talking about negotiation. Is the negotiation that is making these people very powerful? Is the negotiation that is making them feel like we do not have authorities in our hands? There's just a lot that can be done. And Governor Monday, I really pray that we help, you know, to crop out this happening, you know, in Edo State, especially when we talk about cultism. That's another even case if we want to go into that.
Absolutely. It's unfortunate that kidnapping has now become big business and that people are trading in human lives. But hopefully the Edo State government intervenes because the youth are tired, and I'm tired of taking these terrible, gruesome stories on here. Thank you so much for your input, team. Moving on in some somber news, the controversy surrounding the death of Nkanu Nnamdi Esege, the 21-month-old son of writer Chimamanda Adichie, and her husband, Dr. Ivara Esege, has intensified. And in a detailed rebuttal to Euracare multi-specialist hospital statement, the child's aunt, Dr. Anthea Esegenwandu, has accused the hospital of inconsistencies and false claims about what happened before and during the child's care. Now, Dr. Nwadu is a dual board-certified internal medicine physician with more than 30 years' experience in Nigeria and the United States, and she has rejected Euracare's claim that the family's account contained inaccuracies. She disputed the hospital's assertion that the child had been treated at 2 pediatric centers before arriving at Euracare, and she also challenged Euracare's insistence that care was provided in line with international standards, alleging multiple deviations, including a lack of continuous monitoring of the child's pulse and breathing, as well as the absence of resuscitation equipment during internal transfers and improper handling after sedation. But most seriously, Dr. Nwadu alleged that the child's oxygen supply was disconnected during transfer to intensive care unit. An interview was conducted in-house by TVC by our very own Ms. Bosse. Let's have a look at that.
It's important to note that Nkanu was ill but stable for transfer to the United States as planned. He was taken to the MRI suites at Euracare, where he received what we call moderate sedation. So he received IV medications to sedate him for the MRI procedure. Subsequent to that event, he was transferred by the anesthetist to the procedure room where he was going to have the spinal tap and lumbar and central line placed, off oxygen, unmonitored. That was the first incident of negligence. For a baby who was unwell, brought in by ambulance from Atlantis on oxygen, standard clinical practice demands that such a baby is monitored continuously.
Euracare has yet to respond to these latest claims, although they did sympathize with the Adichie Esege family earlier on. But these latest claims, they haven't responded. But public scrutiny around this case continues to grow, and it's raising several issues within Nigeria's healthcare system. But let's have a look at social media. This is very sad. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Afobaje says, Chimamanda Adichie spent her life painfully writing about the decadence in the Nigerian society. And now, the same decadence, allegedly, has been the cause of her child's death. Dr. Barido Badon says, Anthony Joshua had an accident. They put him in the front seat of police Hilux. Chimamanda's son died because the anesthesiologist gave propofol overdose and didn't monitor the patient. All states announced some IUPAC set of phone numbers as emergency numbers. The federal government is suing NARD Nigeria, the Nigerian Association of Registered Doctors, for continuing strikes but don't want to address issues. Johesu is still on strike. Nigeria is what it is. We don't have a health system. And finally, Team Victor Asemota says, with what had happened to Anthony Joshua and Chimamanda in recent times and my experiences in the past, I have come to the conclusion that village people is just compounded Nigerian incompetence, also known as anyhowness. Now, team, this is a very sensitive issue because a child has lost his life, and unfortunately, we wouldn't be discussing this if it didn't raise very pertinent questions about Nigeria's healthcare system. Euracare is seen to be the best of the best in Lagos, Mr. Showumi. That is international best practices. When you think about a place that can handle you the way an America or a Dubai would or a Turkey would, you would think Euracare, and yet it seems that there's been gross negligence on the part of that doctor. According to several sources, we saw the Dr. Nwadu come out, and I believe she's the aunt of the boy who passed away, and we saw Chimamanda Adichie herself come out to say these are inconsistencies and there's been negligence here.
Well, absolutely. I think it's so sad and that we've lost a 21-month-old boy, and I really feel sorry for the parents, and it's very distressing. But pending the outcome of investigation, I think we have to keep an open mind. The idea that Euracare was negligent or not, these were just mere allegations. They need to be established. And I'm glad it's not only the hospital that is looking into this issue. The Lagos State government is also looking into it. They're investigating it. So we need to make sure that we are fair not only to the parents, but we are also fair to Euracare. in case the cause of death is not linked to the negligence alleged.
All right, and I know that her lawyers have sent, papers as well, and I'm happy that Lagos State is taking charge to make sure that we get to the bottom of it. Just like we're saying, we're putting alleged because, the facts have not been brought out. But Tiana's empire also says something about Euracare, and what I always say is that there's no smoke without fire. And this is not me castigating the hospital, but, Tiana has also mentioned something like this had happened in terms of negligence, and, she put it out on social media. I'm sure you know Tiana's empire, Olamide, you know what I'm
yes,
talking
absolutely.
about. She put it out on social media as well. I feel like the second tweet you read makes a lot of sense. Oftentimes we see our residents doctors always going on strike, but they refuse to take accountability when something like this happens. The alleged negligence that we're talking about here. I hope and I pray that they follow through with this particular story. May the little boy rest in peace. It's quite a very, very sad one. No parent should bury their child. So I can understand where the grief is coming from. And now imagine that this person passed away, this little boy passed away because of negligence, because of alleged negligence. So we need to get to the end of this matter. And I feel like cases like this will help, for further things that will happen. Our hospitals need to do better. In private hospitals, public hospitals, we need to make sure that we care for people. When someone comes to the hospital, it's because the person is sick. The person needs attention. Like, it needs attention at every moment. Oftentimes, even we as adults, we go to hospital, they put the drip on us. You will not see a nurse again until some hours. And it's not supposed to be like that. When you go abroad and a patient is sick, the way they put eye on that patient, the way they are checking the patient, is a very sad one. And if Euracare is caught, finding in this particular case, they should face the wrath of the law.
Absolutely. The law will ultimately decide, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the Adichie Sege family during this very hard time. May God comfort you.
Amen. Amen.
Moving on, in the world of social media, controversy continues to surround popular Nigerian content creator Kata Efe and his former partner Ella. And social media has been buzzing with reactions after Kata Efe spoke about the end of their relationship and the struggles he said that he faced. Now, Kata Efe revealed that he and Ella, also known as Emanuela, have been separated for over a year, and he said that the breakup affected his mental health, his finances, and his access to their daughter, Charis, adding that he didn't see his child for several months during the split. Now, the claims have been met with strong backlash online. One social media accused Kata Efe of violence and questioned why he waited a year before speaking out, warning that more evidence would be released if he did not delete the post. Another user, Jojo of Lele, criticized Kata Efe, accusing him of attempting to blackmail Ella. She claimed Ella protected his image for years.
Efe, you waited till after 1 year before coming out to say all this nonsense you're saying because you thought, oh, everybody have deleted their evidence. You made Ella block us after she came back because I came with my friend Jojo, and we called.
Intensified public debate around Kata Efe's revelations, with many social media users questioning his actions, his credibility, and the timing of his statements. But this saga continues to trend across social media, and my job is to bring you the trending stories, no matter who they involve. Let's have a look at social media. I'll take one tweet on this. Mr. Grab says, Kata Efe is a person that talks too much, so one way or another, his shine in the streaming industry will be dimmed by him using his own mouth. That's it for now. Mr. Shomi, I'm wondering, who are these people? What is a Kata Efe? Well,
interestingly, one thing which I can pick up from it is that the relationship broke down, but they were still living together.
Yes.
It was not being consummated. And therefore, one is able to say, no, we've not, we've been together all along, and the marriage lasted. But
they were never
eventually,
married, actually,
they were never married, and it was never consummated.
Yeah.
It was just a common law relationship.
This particular story is something that I have been looking at on social media because he was first to bring it out. And at the end of the day, I was wondering what really happened because I follow Kata Efe, I think he's funny sometimes. And then I now saw evidence on the girl's side. I saw her friend coming out for her. I saw the messages she sent to her friend. 5,800, she did not have to pay for a cab. Her friend had to pay that money for her. And I just wonder, as a woman, you were in that relationship, you saw what was going on. You know, what was the reason why you were still in it? Now you've given birth for this particular person. I just want to come to a way of morality. She's a very, very young girl. I think as women, we need to end the fact that you start staying with a man, you get pregnant for the man, you're not legally married to the man. At the end of the day, now he has made her a baby mama. It's actually a very sad one. And I hope that young girls are really listening. You see all these kid makers, you run quickly for fame. How are you sure that they're amazing people? Kataefe was allegedly beating this girl because we saw the wounds on her body. We saw her eye. You know, even VDM posted a video where, you know, she was complaining that she wanted to leave, you know, I don't want to say marriage, the entanglements, let me put it that way.
Enmeshment.
You know, and it's just so sad. And this is happening to a lot of young girls. They just want quick. And now you've brought a child. How are our children growing up? Now this child will grow up with a lot of, you know, bad images about the father. One of the friends also said, you know, whenever they open the door, the child always runs away, you know, because of what the father does when he opens the door, how he attacks the mother. What are you doing to the mental health of that child? We bring children into life and not even thinking about the child. It's actually a really sad one. And Kata, you can do better. Our women, let's do better as well, please.
Absolutely. I mean, there should be no reason why a man should be financially, emotionally, and physically abusing you and you stay. So we really hope, Ella, that you choose yourself and your child in this difficult moment. Moving on into the world of sports, Nigeria's Super Eagles aren't just chasing the AFCON trophy. They're now chasing serious cash incentives too. The BUA Group Chairman, Abdul Samad Rabiu, has announced hefty financial rewards for the team following their 2-0 victory over Algeria in the AFCON 2025 quarter-final. Now, in a statement shared on X, Rabiu congratulated the players and outlined performance-based bonuses for their remaining matches. He pledged $500,000 if the Super Eagles win their semi-final, with an extra $50,000 for every goal that is scored in that match. And if Nigeria goes on to win the final, Rabiu says that he will reward the team with $1 million plus $100,000 for each goal that they score in the final. The Super Eagles booked their semi-final spot on Saturday with goals from Victor Osimhen and Akko Adams at the Stade de Marrakech. Next up, Nigeria faces host nation Morocco in the semi-final on Wednesday, January 14th in Rabat, with national pride, silverware, and now millions of dollars on the line. Let's take two tweets. I wish I was a Super Eagles player right now. This is the tweet by Abdul Samad Rabiu. He said, should you go on to win the final, I further pledge $1 million plus USD 100,000 for each goal scored in the final. That's a lot of money. Let's have a look at two more tweets. This is a tweet by the president congratulating the Super Eagles on their defeat over Algeria. He says, brilliant performance, inspiring. Go Super Eagles. You have the support of all Nigerians. Hashtag Niger for the win. And Niger Dentist says, we've started creating distractions far too early. Monetary inducements, tried repeatedly, have proven counterproductive. They encourage selfishness, individualism, and arrogance on the pitch. Let the players focus on the game. Rewards can come after victory. What they urgently need now is assurance that the government values their patriotism, honors match bonuses, and handles welfare seriously. Anything else undermines performance and discipline. Now, team, this is a lot of money, and some might argue that national pride is priceless, Mr. Shomi. You can't put a price on that. But those are some very, very serious incentives. How bad does Nigeria need this win?
Oh, we really need to win it. I mean, honestly speaking, look, you can't imagine that chap, that defender that made that banter, that he would send the Super Eagles down to Sambisa Forest, you know, at the end of the match. Ended up, you know, crying. He broke down because when Osimhen had to knock the ball in right in front of him, and it was helpless. So for me, many people felt so happy and said, yeah. So we are not the one going to Sambisa Forest. Algeria is going to Sambisa Forest. And again, do not forget, you remember in the days of Odiye, when we played against Algeria and we didn't win the Cup of Nations simply because of that. Nigeria scored against Nigeria, and that was when we were playing against Algeria. So it brought a lot of memories into mind to say, yeah, this is our opportunity to build Algeria. We've done it. But now the guys are highly incentivized, you know, looking forward to win the cup for the whole country. We're all looking forward to that. I'm sure that apart from Abu Samadi, There are still so many goodies coming.
coming your
Dangote
way.
is still there, federal government is there, state governments are there. If the guys can bring the cup home, we'll be too happy.
All right, so Super Eagles, you know what to do at this point, you know. And talking about Abdul Samad, he's a philanthropist. I'm not surprised. You know, oftentimes he always gives out when something good is done. And this is our Super Eagles. If they are able to do this, in fact, I will give them something as well. I will buy a little pen and give them as a journalist, you know, just so that they can be writing the amount of money they've gotten. But, you know, they should just make us proud. And I feel like, you know, when you give these people incentives, it makes them, it's like a morale boost. So contrary to the tweets that you read, it's not going to put their morale down. They should think, as they are playing, you think about the money you are going to get, you will kick that ball very fast. So we wish them the very best. And I want us to celebrate. Like, we need to win. So all of this should pep you up.
Money makes the world go round. Bring it home, boys. And now moving on here on the TVC Breakfast Show, we truly believe that time is of the essence. The past, the present, and the future. And this segment is